There was little cover, and when our officer told me to get into communication with a certain regiment by flag, and to do so I would have to expose myself on a knoll, I didn't exactly smile. However, I got up and tried to appear brave and went forward and began calling up. Over they came, each one causing me to duck in that strange way. But what awful shooting! The nearest one only hit the ground about 2 yards to my front, smothering me in dust and bits of stone. Luckily, the battalion signaller soon copied my flag, and very soon I was in communication. I lost no time in laying low and then informing my officer. I was then able to fix up a heliograph and send a message in a kneeling position and without making a target, as when I was waving a flag. The British regiments lost several men during this engagement, and the natives lost even more. A chum of mine was killed during the scrap. Afterwards, a rifle spoke, followed by the heaviest fire and din I have ever heard. It seemed that everyone who was able to stand at the perimeter, some thousands, was firing as fast as he was able, mingled with the rattle of machine guns. On the 21st, I was detailed to attach myself to the Nepalese Rifles. This regiment is one of many belonging to Nepal, one of England's allies. Fine troops. Several villages were burnt to the ground in succession, and towards evening the force returned to camp. During the day, aeroplanes went out and bombed several towns and villages lying further out, creating great havoc and killing hundreds. The Nepalese regiment of the 45th Brigade made a fine name for themselves. They had received orders to take a ridge which was lined by the Mahsudz, firing down the somewhat sheer slope into them. The position at first seemed almost impregnable. Attached to the regiment were 2 regular sergeants of the 1st Royal Sussex, with Major Hart supervising over the native officers. At first, the Nepalese soldiers facing that terrible fire were loath to advance, until the sergeants made an example by calling on the men to dash forward. Charge! The men following immediately. A large number of them were laid low, taking the heart out of the rest, who threw themselves down to take cover. At this moment, when all were wavering, Major Hart sprang forward, and when a few yards in front of the line, turned and called upon his men to charge with him. This put new heart, and as they rose, the poor Major was hit direct in the back of the neck by an explosive bullet, shattering his head and causing instantaneous death. Seeing this, the men became half mad with furious rage and charged forward. The Major was dearly liked by those dark fellows, and they never paused until the whole ridge had been cleared of the enemy and the position taken and reversed, them firing down on the retreating mass. Their loss was great, but it was a fine performance in the face of such odds.